Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're discussing the Game Week preview for Game Week 24 as we go over some chip strategies, what premium assets to go for, especially including what to do with Salah, as well as having a look at some different defensive options. As I know, a lot of people are looking for some better defensive assets, as there hasn't been too many standout defensive players so far this season outside of Kieran Trippier. If you guys are enjoying the FPL content, drop a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel, and also click that notification bell as well, as you can stay updated with all of the future FPL videos. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So first of all, let's discuss two different chip strategies, kind of depending on what you have left to use in the remainder of the season. And the first strategy is probably my favorite one, which is free hitting in Game Week 28 instead of a bit later on in the season. And I do think free hitting in 28 could be a lot easier for managers to do as well, as blank Game Week 28 is the biggest blank game week of the season. So a lot of people are going to have plays that are blanking in 28, and a lot of the teams blanking in 28 are from quite popular teams with people that have a lot of players from those teams. So I think the free hit in Game Week 28 is definitely the easiest, as you do really have to start prioritizing your transfers now to set up your team for Game Week 28, so you can have 11 players playing without having to take massive hits before Game Week 28 as well. So for that reason, I think free hitting could be worthwhile, especially since teams like Manchester United, Tottenham even, Manchester City could potentially be blanking in Game Week 28, or have a pretty good chance of blanking in Game Week 28. Even Liverpool as well, they're kind of 50-50 right now. A lot of people have players from these teams, and currently in our team we have 10 to 11 players that could potentially be blanking in Game Week 28. So for us, it's just a lot easier to use a free hit, especially when you want to prioritize your transfers right now to get in double Game Week 25 and double Game Week 27 players as well, rather than getting in players that are just playing in Game Week 28 and kind of disregarding the near future in terms of Game Weeks 25 and 27, where you're going to want to have a few double Game Week players in those weeks. You can try and take some green arrows as well. So I do recommend a free hit in 28. Then you can either bench boost in double Game Week 29 or 34. These two game weeks are no doubt going to be the biggest double game weeks out of any of the remaining game weeks in the season. So depending on when you want to use your bench boost or triple captain, you can prioritize one in 1 week. If you've got a captain that you really like for game week 29, use a triple captain that week, then bench boost the week after. It just kind of depends on how your team is looking, whether you've got a stronger bench or a really good standout captain option. I'll leave that up to you guys when you want to alternate the triple captain or bench boost chip in other game weeks 29 or 34. You could also use triple captain in game week 37, as that is also another double game week. It just kind of depends what play you want to go for as a triple captain and when you think they're going to have the best fixtures. And of course, since game week 29 and 34 are the biggest double game weeks, you probably have the best chance of getting a good couple of fixtures for a triple captain in those weeks. And then also wild carding in game week 33, also a good strategy as well. The good thing is with free hitting in 28 and wildcarding in 33 is that players from now until Game Week 27 have pretty good fixtures from Game Weeks 29 through 32, and a lot of those players that are good now do have a good chance of doubling in 29 as well. So the good thing, good strategy for me if you're using strategy 1 is to try and set up the team for double Game Weeks 25, 27 and 29, and then set up the team for those few weeks, and then wildcard out of it in Game Week 33 to try and prioritize some other fixtures, as obviously there's a big double game week in 34, another double in 37. You can wildcard then to prioritize those double game weeks if you still have that wildcard chip available. Also, if you don't have the wildcard chip available, free hitting in game week 28 is still a good option, and that's probably an option that we're going to have to use, as we have already used our wildcard token. So for now, prioritize the team for the near future. Don't worry about game week 28. You can just free hit that week and then try and set up the team for those other doubles coming up in 29 as well. That should be a big double game week. Try and set up the team for then. Just don't worry about the free hit in game week 28. You can play, use that chip to get out of that game week, as a lot of players will be blanking from your teams if you want to prioritize the near future, and then you can wildcard in 33 to target that second big double game week. The second strategy is to wildcard in game week 29. So essentially use your transfers now to try and set up the team for game week 28 without having to use a free hit or wild card in this week. This is also a good strategy if you do have a free hit still available and a wild card still available. I probably wouldn't use this strategy if you don't have a free hit available. just because your team in game weeks 28 might not be the best, and also doesn't give you the best chance of capitalizing on some other plays in game week 33 as well. Game week 34 with a big double game week, and also the blank game week in 32 as well. If you don't have a free hit, you can't really navigate that as well either, and that is main strategy here, is to use the free hit to navigate blank game week 32, which isn't quite as a big blank as game week 28, but using this strategy, you want to prioritize your transfers to have a good team for game week 28. Try and have 11 starting players without having to take many hits, and then wildcarding out of that team in 29, as a lot of the players playing in 28 aren't very good options from game weeks 29 through 32. Or through 29 through the rest of the season, really, and then free hit game week 32 and the other blank game week, and then you can either bench boost in 34, that's another big double game week, or you can triple captain in any of the other doubles such as 25, 27, or 37 as well. That's also a medium level double game week coming up. So depending on which chip strategy that you do use, it can kind of influence which premium assets you go for right now, and especially since Mo Salah has come into the mix with a good score in his most recent match, he could also be a good premium option to discuss as well, as a lot of people have been looking to get Mo Salah in the teams, especially after his goal in his most recent Liverpool fixture, and also since Liverpool do double in game week 25. As you can see here, they've got Crystal Palace away and Wolves at home in game week 25. Those are a great couple of fixtures for Mo Salah to hopefully continue some goal scoring form after obviously he got himself the goal in his most recent Premier League match. I wouldn't necessarily look to bring in Mo Salah for game week 24, but as you can see here, he faces Newcastle away. I'd probably look to bring him in for game week 25, as Newcastle's defence are pretty strong, and I would prioritise getting Salah in the double game week rather than the single, as I still think there's a better options for game week 24 compared to Mo Salah that week. So personally, I'm a big fan of getting Mo Salah in the team. I do prefer him right now to Kevin De Bruyne in midfield. Harry Kane, also another player that people have been a bit frustrated with. Do I stick with Harry Kane? Do I drop him down to be able to afford Mo Salah? Or do I go for triple premiums, being Haaland, Kane, and Salah? Right now, we are looking to go triple premiums ourselves in Haaland, Kane, Salah. As personally, I'm still a big fan of Kane. As using, if you're looking for a free hit in game week 28, then going for Tottenham players is a good idea, because Tottenham do blank in game week 28. So having a free hit token in game week 28 allows you to get out of having those Tottenham players. So definitely, if you're looking to use a free hit in 28, then Kane is still a viable option. If you don't want a free hit in game week 28 and you're looking to wildcard maybe in 29, free hit in 32, then maybe Kane isn't the right premium asset for you. You want to go for a different option. Mo Salah also is roughly a 50-50 chance right now of potentially blanking in 28, depending how our fixtures go in the FA Cup. But personally, if you don't use a free hit in 28, then I'd probably be looking towards Mo Salah as the option between the two. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne, the other midfield asset right now that people are looking at, he's also coming off a big score in his most recent game week, where he had a good double game week score, especially against Arsenal, where he got the majority of his points with a goal and an assist. But right now, I don't mind Mo Salah, especially since he doubles in 25. A great chance to jump on those Liverpool assets as well. Crystal Palace and Wolves, a pretty good double game week. So right now, Mo Salah could be a good option to get in the teams. If you're looking to take a -4 hit as well in game week 25 for Mo Salah, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to making that move, as a lot of people will probably have to take a -4 hit to be able to get him in. But I think that could be worthwhile in my opinion. If you already have De Bruyne, though, it could be a little bit easier to get Mo Salah in the team. You could just go De Bruyne up to Salah. That's a fairly easy move if you have the money in the bank. But I still would be keen on taking a -4 just to get Salah in, as when he is in good form, he can be very, very explosive. So for me, a nice option to have on the side. And he's got the biggest predicted points, as you can see here, out of these three premium assets with 38.7. That's across the next 6 games. So Fantasy Football Fix do expect Mo Salah to be one of the better premium assets across the next 6 games. Obviously, he's not started the season as well as the other two players with just 13 goal involvements and around 13 expected goal involvements as well, compared to Harry Kane with 22 goals and assist, Kevin De Bruyne with 17 goals and assist, and a lot higher expected goal involvements as well. But I think Mo Salah could be a good option looking forward into the future, just because he has the double game week. He's got some good fixtures coming up outside of this double game week, and he does have by far the highest predicted points out of any one of these premium assets. So for me, I think Mo Salah is a player to target, especially for game week 25, even if you're taking a -4 hit. Let's have a look at some other defensive options as well, because I have seen a lot of people kind of tossing out which players to go for, especially since there isn't a clear standout defensive asset outside of Kieran Trippier right now, and a lot of defenses have been emerging in some better form recently, which do need to be discussed. Also, with double game weeks coming up in 25 and 27, do you want to try and target players or defenders from those teams? Also, if you're not free hitting in 28, you want to try and go for defenders from teams that aren't blanking in game week 28, so that's going to be Chelsea and Everton, as you can see here. They won't be blanking in 28, so you could go for their assets. If you're free hitting in 28, then I would actually recommend some Tottenham defenders as well, and Eric Dyer is currently on this list here for that reason. He's got roughly a 50-50 chance of also doubling in 29, as does Badiashile. They both kind of have a 50% chance right now. It could go either way, whether they double in 29. Tarkowski, on the other hand, definitely isn't doubling in 29, but he definitely is doubling in the near future in 25. So a good chance to jump on Tarkowski if you want to cash in on those Everton clean sheets in game week 25. Otherwise, I do like Badiashile as well. At around 5 million right now in FPL, he could be a very nice option. Since coming into that Chelsea defense, he has recorded 3 clean sheets in 4 games, so he's definitely improved that Chelsea defense since arriving. And also, since he doesn't blank in 28, he could be a very, very good option for this week. Even if you are free hitting in 28, I wouldn't necessarily say Badiashile is a bad option, especially considering Chelsea's got some good fixtures coming up. They've got Southampton at home next, so if you wanted to get on him this week, a good chance to do so as well. Tottenham away in game week 25, definitely a bit more difficult, but then Leeds at home is a pretty good fixture. Plus, they have some pretty good matches after that, and also one of them being Everton at home in game week 28. So that's a good opportunity to jump on those Chelsea defensive assets for a clean sheet in this one. Eric Dyer, on the other hand, another pretty good option. Spurs have recorded 2 clean sheets in their last 3, compared to Chelsea with 3 in their last 4. I believe Tottenham also have 3 clean sheets in the last 6 games. They have a pretty similar expected goals conceded, Chelsea and Tottenham right now, but Dyer does have slightly better underlying numbers in terms of goals and assists. Obviously, Badiashile's only played 4 games, but Dyer is actually a pretty good threat from corners. He's picked up 2 goals so far this season, and he's got a pretty good expected clean sheets figure as well of around 7 right now. So that's pretty good from a Tottenham perspective. Defensively, his expected FPL points of 76.7 so far are also pretty decent, but he does have the highest predicted FPL points across the next 6 fixtures out of these 3 defenders with 21.5. That being said, though, it is very, very similar with Badiashile and Tarkowski as well, all kind of sitting at around that 20 points mark. Looking at Tottenham's next 3 fixtures, a pretty similar difficulty once again to Chelsea. West Ham at home and Southampton at home in game week 24, fairly similar fixtures. Then they verse each other, which is also fairly similar from a defensive perspective. Maybe a slightly better fixture for Tottenham since they're playing at home. And then Wolves away, also a good chance for a Tottenham clean sheet, as is Leeds at home for Chelsea as well. So 2 defenses that have been in pretty good form recently, and 2 players here that are good nailed on starters that are chipping in well for their defenses. Eric Dyer's got himself 2 goals. Badiashile's really improved the clean sheets for Chelsea. So 2 players at around 5 million that could be worthwhile having a look at there from 2 defenses. There hasn't been too much targeting recently, and Tarkowski as well, another a good, much cheaper option at just 4.2. He could be a nice pick there. He does blank though in the upcoming game weeks, but he's obviously got that double there, so that's a good chance to have Tarkowski in the team in game week 25 for Everton. But he doesn't double, I meant to say, in game week 29 compared to Badiashile and Dyer, who could potentially double in game week 29. Thanks for watching today's game week preview for game week 24. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop a like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel, and click that notification bell as well to stay up to date with all of the future FPL videos. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.